Hello and welcome to the Local Music Revolution. I am your host, Ogre. On today's episode, we have a rap artist from Fresno, California by the name of Dr. Ink. As many of you know, there's a sign up for interviews on the WordPress that runs this thing. Dr. Ink was the first person to actually use that sign up sheet, and also what made me want to use that more. That's why the only dealings with signups go through that sheet, is because it was so easy to get the information from Dr. Ink, and it was so easy to pinpoint everything I needed to make the interview great. Funny enough, Dr. Ink was also the first interview I did before 10 a.m., which is incredibly weird considering I do all of the interviews in the evening time, but Dr. Ink was ready to go at 9:30 a.m., so I got off work, I pressed record, and we did the interview. Who does this? Seriously, waking up before 10 a.m. to interview somebody? I've never done it before. It was weird. I was exhausted, but the interview turned out great. I really enjoyed it. Dr. Ink was a fantastic guest, making it very, very easy to get all of the information and have the conversation about rap, because I'm not a rapper. I do not know the ins and outs of that like I do metal. You to ask me about metal and I'll tell you whatever you want to know, but I don't have that knowledge on rap. So it was really cool to have Dr. Ink explain his experiences in rap and how that pertains to him and his reinvention of himself. Before we move on to the main portion of the interview, I just want to thank everybody for backing the podcast. It's grown astronomical over the past few months, and it's all thanks to everybody that has been on, that will be on, and that listens to this podcast. Thank you very much. It's been amazing. Part of that expansion was actually getting a sponsor. As you guys know, stringjoy.com sponsors the podcast. So if you guys are looking for custom strings, custom guitar strings, acoustic strings, even bass strings, all you have to do is get a hold of Stringjoy. They have tension-based sets, or you can get custom sets. What you do, you go on there, you let them know what you want, how you feel about certain gauges, and they will take it into account and suggest the best that they can for you. If it doesn't work, the next time around, you can tell them what didn't work, and they will suggest something to replace that. They will narrow down what you need for your strings. When you're done with this process and you're at checkout, use the promo code LOCAL, that's LOCAL, and you will get a discount for being a listener of the Local Music Revolution. I highly encourage you to go check the Local Music Revolution out on Facebook at facebook.com/thelocalmusicrevolution, on Twitter at TLMR Podcast, on Instagram at the Local Music Revolution. The podcast is also run off of WordPress, so if you want to go to thelocalmusicrevolution.wordpress.com, you can check out all of the information that comes along with the podcast, any information that I have on current shows, updated shows, plus you get the show notes, and you can be connected with all of the past guests. Alright, now plugs are done, intro's done. This is Dr. Ink. And I'm here with Dr. Ink. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I just got off work, like I was telling you, man. I'm tired, but let us do this. This is going to be awesome. So firstly, you were telling me before we started recording you're in a transitional phase with your names, I believe. So can you explain that, and what does that entail?
Well, to me, everybody has to go through a point of kind of evolution, I guess. So for me, through the music, it's kind of been with the names. When I first started, I started off as Tweezy, and believe it or not, I was one of the first Tweezys around. It was years ago. And then a friend of mine, a good friend, and also a label mate that passed away, he gave me the name Twigonomical, which was different. It was something that, you know, I'm the only one out there. If you Google Twigonomical, it's the only one you'll find.
Nice.
And so after a while of that, I was like, well, I'm kind of in a changing manner, because after he had passed away, the music kind of slowed down, and when I decided to come back, I was like, well, you know, I'm going to go ahead and change my name. something that's going to be catchy, something people will like, something that fits me a little better. So I decided to go by Dr. Ink.
That's awesome, man. And is there something behind Dr. Ink, or is that just the catchy name that you come up with?
Actually, a couple of meanings behind that. One is I enjoy drinking rum. I mean, I'm not an alcoholic, but if, when I drink, that's just my choice. Which is another one of my little AKAs is the rum bum. And so if you take Dr. Ink and you take the dot away, together you have drink. And, there was that. And also because I consider myself pretty precise with the pen as far as writing, and I'm pretty good at that, so kind of fits.
That's great that you bring up drinking and everything, because I am a very, very big fan of rum. I love me some rum and coke after a hard week of working, man. It just makes everything so much better. It really does. Yeah. But you sound like you're really confident about your writing skills. How long have you actually been working at the rap game?
Oh, I have to say it's been about 17, 18 years, approximately.
Wow.
I started off as a teenager, of course, and it started off freestyling, and eventually I just got into writing. I wrote my first rap song at the age of 16, and just from that point on, just kept going. And I still have all those rap songs, too.
Oh, that's awesome, man. So you got into it. What actually influenced you to get into rapping and freestyling and everything like that?
What influenced me to get into it was, of course, hearing other artists out there when rapping began. When the first rap song I actually heard was Basketball by Curtis Blow.
Nice.
And when I heard that, I was like, whoa, I like that. And so from that point on, I was just, searching for other, rap songs, other hip-hop songs. And what I found just amazed me. And I really didn't even know that I could freestyle until a couple of friends of mine, they were like, you were talking about freestyling and rapping and stuff. And they were like, well, I bet you can't freestyle about anything you say. And I said, go ahead, give it a try. So they would point something out, and I would freestyle about it. And I amazed myself. So it was that point that I knew right then that this was what I wanted to do, this is what I was going to do, and nothing was going to stop me.
So when you found out that you were you were good at freestyling, how did that change into what you're doing now? Was it gradual, or was it just like, I can freestyle, now I kind of want to become an artist?
It was kind of a mixture of both. I knew that I wanted to become an artist once I, started freestyling. I knew that that's what I wanted to do, but I also knew that I didn't want to sound like everyone else. So I knew that if I was going to do that, just like with poetry, I was good at writing poetry when I was a teenager. I figured, hey, if I could write poetry, I know I'd be able to write a rap song and, have it sound good. So that's how I did it.
So you're saying that you were good at poetry before you ever found out that you were freestyling. That is incredible, because I wasn't really good at poetry when I was in school, but I never wrote lyrics or anything like that. It had to wait 10 years into my adult life, and then I started writing lyrics and realized I was good at it. So it's really cool that you found that. So do you write your own beats?
Some beats I do myself, but for the most part, I get them from various producers, like Terry Scales, for one. He's based here in Fresno. Tim Osman, based here in Fresno. Hunchback Esquire, Shaman C. Both of them also from Fresno. I try to get as many local producers as I can. Try to keep it 559.
All right, so have you always been based in Fresno, or did you happen to move here at some point?
I've always been based in Fresno.
That's awesome, man. I've always been based in Tulare. I've spent my entire life here, and it's not something that I want to continue, but it's it's great people around me. I mean, this entire podcast project has been just incredible. I've met so many awesome people, so I'm very thankful for that.
There's no place like home.
Completely true, man. So, speaking of home, you recently did a show with Kaleidoscope and MC Wix, and a bunch of other people I have yet to meet, but I've had those two on the show. How was that show for you? Was it as awesome as everybody had been talking about?
It was incredible. It was a great night. It was great that Kaleidoscope was able to put together a good event for her release for her new CD. All the artists that showed up, they displayed phenomenal skills. And the people that came to support, they were wonderful. It was a great night.
That's awesome, man. So, sorry. So how'd you meet up with those two? Was it just naturally you guys are doing the rap thing together, so you're gonna meet, or did you actually search them out, or vice versa?
Well, it was. We've seen each other at shows. I mean, I've seen Wix perform before. Actually, the first time I actually seen Wix was when he was battle rapping. That was the first time I seen him.
Nice.
And I was like, this kid he's tight. He's hella funny. So when I got to see him perform, I was like, whoa, this guy's really tight. I got to hear some of his songs. And so at first I kind of pursued to collab with him, but him and I didn't know each other yet. So it was kind of one of those, let's just let things happen naturally type things.
Yeah.
And so with Kaleidoscope, it was kind of the same thing. We just happened to all come together out there, supporting one another and supporting the 559 hip hop network that's out there. And
nice.
It turned out great.
Well, congratulations, man. It's really cool. Yeah, I have to thank Kaleidoscope, because if it wasn't for her, I would have never met Wix, and I would have never met you. So it's really, really cool to have that kind of system going on. And yeah, it's really nice to see that, because that's the whole idea that I had with this, was just to bring everybody together. And it's really, really encouraging to see that much camaraderie going on. So, damn. I'm sorry I lost my place. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, everyone that comes together, we need that a whole lot. When it comes to all the support of the 559, whether it be businesses, any type of music, art, entertainment, everything. We're our number one supporter. So when people see that, and we expand out there, more people will support, and it'll snowball into something great.
Yeah, and I see it going on, especially with you guys. I see it very prominently, and I'm so excited to just see everybody working together. It's an amazing sight to see. So can you tell me about your label? I believe it was Triple God Recording. Like, what is that exactly?
Well, years ago when it was me and my boy Surf and Elder, he was the one that had passed, when we had all came together, when I had this idea of starting a label, I thought to myself, what kind of name out there would be different, something that would just, I don't know, kind of explain us, and something that would also bring good luck and prosperity to the label. So I know that the number 3 is a good luck number. It's a number of abundance and just all that stuff like that. So I figured triple, and then all of us with our talent that we have, doing hip hop, we have this kind of demigod kind of feeling going on, at that moment. We were feeling ourselves a whole lot, basically. So I just thought, Triple God Recording that would be great. And with the logo, being an alien with the 3, that kind of falls into the back in the day when aliens were considered as gods because of their technology and their flight systems and all that stuff like that. It's so much. It goes really deep.
All right, man. Can you do me a favor right now and tell me about the song "The V"?
The V, yeah. That right there. When I sat down, when I heard the beat was by Shaman Beat, and when I got that beat from him, when I heard the beat, that was the first thing that popped in my head was this song needs to be about women, but in a way that hasn't been done before, So I just figured, let's talk about the V, and let's just bring up all the facts, all the truth, because everyone usually goes two directions when it comes to that subject. Either they're talking sexual about it or they're talking bad about it, and I was like, well, let's just bring it all together and just something that fits everyone.
All right, man. Well, right now I'm going to play the V.
Cool.
I'm talking about the power of love now. I'm going to tell you what love can do. When they say love makes the world go round, that's the truth. Now I want your imagination.
I need it. I got to have it. I love it.
This young man,
I want to kiss and rub it.
raised in the hills of Tennessee.
The V.
When he reached
The V. The V. I want the V. You want the V. The V.
he fell in
I
love.
want it all for me. Fuck what you heard about the birds and the bees. I'm talking about the letter that brings men to their knees. Just in case you get confused, it's not A, B, or C. The one I'm talking about is next to you, the V. Now the V's notorious for getting niggas sprung. It loves the penetration but will quiver from the tongue. Men seek it daily and even some ladies. The V can keep you calm but sometimes might make you crazy. It might make you lazy, might make you cheat on your wife. And some fools use it as an excuse to take a life. Now you know the V's the main reason that you shower. And when the V is hungry, it hunts for meat to devour. Some can be fresh and some can be sour. And if you meet the right bee, she might show you her V flower. The V will have you tripping, thinking that you're in love. More addictive than meth, the V's one hell of a drug. I know you're probably saying, shit, not me. But keep it 100, everything you do is for the V. It's brought down nations with the power of pussy patience. But beware of what lurks, cause some of the V's are contagious. It's outrageous.
And that was the V. All right, Dr. Ink. You were talking a little bit earlier about truthful rapping and everything like that. On your page, for genre, it said truth hop. Can you explain what that is and what you're trying to do with that?
Yes. About, I'd say, close to 15 years ago, which is actually, well, it was about a little less than 15 years ago when the label first was an idea and first was talked about. We also talked about wanting to put in a different genre out there because music had gotten so far from reality that people needed more of that. I mean, everyone was in that mode of talking about, jewelry and how much money they had and what they were doing at the club and so much stuff that it's like, if you're just now famous, if you just came out and this is your first hit song, and everybody had to come from some sort of background. What's your background? Were you always popping bottles in the club? Were you always rich? Did you come from a rich background? Talk a little bit about what kind of struggle you used to get started. And we figured what we were going to make sure we never did was talk about something that we didn't know about. We were bringing truth out there, what was going on with our government, what was going on with us as humans, what was going on with struggling as far as cash and having to feed your kids and put clothes in their back and different stuff like that. And also bring in a little bit of comedy here and there with things that we have to deal with as far as friends, as far as with females and going out and stuff like that. We wanted truth to be told, but everything was, the definition of hip-hop is, when you take hip, things that are famous, things that are now, things that are what's going on, and you take hop, and it's something that, something to dance to, something to tap your feet to. And when hip-hop first came around, hip-hop wasn't, it wasn't a music genre, it was a culture. It was a culture it was a hip culture that was doing things that just brought that feeling out in you that made you want to dance. And that's when the music came about, like the break dancing and so forth. That was all part of hip hop, and there wasn't much hip hop going on as far as what the radio stations were playing with all the commercialized music and everything. Hip hop kind of went underground in a lot of ways. So we were like, we need to bring truth hop out. We need truth. So let's try to start this genre. Let's bring out stuff that, and people might not understand. It might scare them. They may think we're crazy. They may think we're just talking out of our ass, all kind of opinions. But either way it goes, we're going to be speaking the truth about whatever it is, whatever it may be. So that's how we kind of wanted to push that and try to get that going. And the thing about truth hop is that there are already a lot of artists that were already in that genre. Public Enemy is the number one. To me, everything they spoke about was truth. They weren't talking about the police and government doing a lot of shiesty stuff. And that wasn't going on. That was actually what was going on. They spoke about what happened in the past, what's going on in the present, and what was going to happen in the future. So those type of artists, and then others kinds like Nas and so forth, they bring that out. And even Mac Dre and NWA, because what they spoke about as far as what was going on out in the streets, that was truth. Whether it be about drug dealing, whether it be about pimping, whether it be about, just lounging at the house, whether it be about going out with your friends. If you're speaking about what it is that's going on with you, you're speaking truth. But if you're not going out to clubs and you don't have 3 or 4 females with you, and you're not wearing the newest Nikes and you're not driving the newest car, how are you going to rap about doing that? You're just bringing fantasy. You're taking all of your wishes and you're putting it on paper and telling people this is what you got. I understand the laws of attraction. The laws of attraction say that if you put that out there in the air, the universe is going to reciprocate by bringing it to you. If you feel you deserve it, the universe is going to give it to you. It's okay to do that, but it's gotten so far out, that cats are even going to the point of renting cars and renting chains and renting, getting hookers and getting all kind of chicks from the street and paying them to be in their videos and acting like they got all that. But then after the video's done, they got to take all those clothes off. They got to take those cars, they got to take that jewelry, they got to return it. Those bras, never even seen them before, don't know their name, will never talk to them on a regular day. They gotta go back to being regular. So we need to kind of dilute all that, because it's taken hip hop and it's turned it into, so you see so many comedic situations going on with hip hop. It's almost like a lot of people are taking it as a joke, and with a lot of artists that are out there that are on World Star Hip Hop, where when you look at the videos and some of the songs on there are just absolute garbage. I'm sorry, I don't mean to diss anybody's art. That's not what I'm about. I don't like doing that, but just speaking for hip-hop and speaking for the culture and speaking for the generations that started this and the generations that are continuing and the generations that are going to continue to lay down some real music. A lot of those cats out there are garbage, because saying a hook over and over again doesn't constitute as a song. You know, doesn't matter how tight the beat is. The beat can be out of this world, greatest beat in the world. But if you're just saying the same thing over and over again, or you're saying something that doesn't make any sense at all, then you've just basically wasted a beat, you wasted people's time, and you're wasting space. You need to either better your art, or you need to find something else to do. Because hip-hop is, you know, this struggle is serious. People that are out there that are putting their soul onto the paper, people that are actually, you know, taking the things that they've been through and then letting people know, they're putting that out there. So millions of people are trying to put it out there, millions of people that they don't even know. You know, they're serious about that. They're trying to be heard. Some are trying to get rich. Some are trying to get all the bitches in the world. And when you got some out there that just want to be heard. And whatever comes along with it, comes along with it, but as long as that they reach that goal.
So that is incredible, man. I'm sorry. I tried to stay out of the way while you were talking, but that is, you're very well spoken and very, very positive, exactly what you want to do. So how long did it take you to figure out what your path was in the rap genre?
It wasn't until I decided to start recording. It was when I decided, okay, I want to go ahead and I want to take these words and I want to put these words behind the beat, and I want to record and I want to let people hear it. It was at that point that I really wanted to, because I noticed years ago, before, you know, a lot of these songs became commercialized, what was going on, it was just slowly happening with people talking about, I mean, like when P. Diddy or Puff Daddy first came out, I mean, you can see at that point where a lot of the music was going as far as like videos and stuff. Biggie was great. To me, Biggie was, like, if not the one of the greatest out there. But the videos that Puffy did for a lot of his artists that he put out were just, I mean, if you got money to spend, fine, spend it. But those videos were just extravagant and huge, and you know, it just kind of messed things up. So, you know, when I started recording, I wanted to make sure that I didn't lie, you know, because I was, you know, one thing I was taught was not to lie. I get my face slapped off if I lied. So, but I wanted to make sure that when I recorded that the music was going to be good and the people were going to hear it and they were going to understand, they were going to relate to it. Because all the music that was already out there, country music, R&B music, any kind of pop music, any kind of alternative, any kind of heavy metal, what was being spoken, there were people out there that could feel that. Yeah. They related to it in some sort of way. So I couldn't understand how a bunch of broke people could relate to people who were talking about being rich.
That's actually not the first time I've heard that, and it's very interesting, the mindset that goes into that kind of stuff, especially in modern pop now. It's really, really bad where things have gone in all genres, really. I mean, there's some cream in the crop, but it's just really bad. So, what is there anything that you do? Or have there been any songs that you've written that you're like, wait, this isn't me, this isn't what I'm doing, and you've had to get rid of?
Yes. Yeah, I have. You know, with the count of the songs that I've done, which include written ones and freestyle and songs that I've been on, I got well over 250 songs.
Wow.
But I've only put out, a certain amount, because some of the songs that I did, especially when it comes to freestyling, I don't always stick to the same direction as when I write. When I write, I'm more focused. But when I'm freestyling, it's just pretty much whatever comes out that time. So there were, like sometimes where I do have a song that I did that was kind of a rave song, and I did put that out briefly. But it was actually something that would belong at a rave.
Wow.
But it's not. I just thought to myself, nah, that's not me. That's not the type of hip hop I do. I don't want to be known for that. I don't want people to expect me to continue to do that. And there are some songs where, I was a little bit more violent than I normally am, because, I did grow up listening to a lot of different artists, which included Brother Lynch Hung and Too Short and 2 Live Crew. And so, once you spend years hearing that, that's always there. So, there were times where I tried to write something that was a little bit more dark, but I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I've gone all over the place until I just found out, this is me. The songs that I do now, they reflect me a lot better.
Nice.
There are different sides of me, because everyone has their different moods. Of course, there's always going to be a nasty side of me, so there's always going to be some songs that are going to be, going to have a lot of sexual stuff going on. But, there's also that part of me where, I did grow up, having to go through a lot of crazy stuff. So, there is that part of me that can get kind of thuggish, but I don't do nothing like that, because, that's not my true nature. That's just a kind of a defense mechanism type thing.
Yeah.
One of those if I need to be type thing. So I want to make sure that I've fully focused on how my true inner self is, my true soul.
Nice, man. Well, speaking of that, can you explain the song God Complex?
That song, actually, I can't really explain it. When I heard that beat, I immediately wrote to it. Like, I didn't even get past the first 30 seconds before I picked up a pen and a paper and I just started writing. And
nice.
So it just came out the way it came out, and I just knew that I didn't need any kind of hook on it at all, because all the scratching and everything that was in there, that just fit perfectly. And I guess there are moments, I'll admit, where I do feel like I do have a God complex in a lot of different ways for different situations. So I don't know, it just kind of fit.
All right. Well, I'm gonna play God Complex.
Cool.
The question is, do I have a God complex?
Dr. Kessler says yes.
Which makes me wonder if this lawyer has any idea as to the kind of grades one has to receive in college to be accepted at a top medical school. Or if you have the vaguest clue as to how talented someone is.
So, brother number 1, I call you my son. Music's the profession and I get the job done. The rum bum, Dr. E, who you thought I was. I drink to get drunk, I don't sip to get a buzz. Smoke a lot of herb, the herb keeps me focused. Disappear and leave a cloud shroud, hocus pocus. Ninja gating, raiding your venues that you've been to. Even the DJs won't spin you, need I continue? You want these groovy hoochies hugging you, giving you smoochies. Now focus on the future, your goal stopping coochie. Loose lips, sink ships, plus they flood the building. Plus these crabs in the bucket fuck with how you're living.
A crowd driller, nothing but the real shit. Call me the specialist, professor at the scrap science. Rep is impeccable, I'm not to be fucked with.
The man's got a God complex.
How many MCs must get dissed?
If you can't walk the walk, don't talk the talk.
Slip enough to knock you out with Mike Fitness. The man's got a God complex.
Distorted decisions of haters that want to cloud your vision. Have you on Facebook posting comments instead of handling business. Fuck setting trends, fuck fake friends and family. Independent underground, the industry can't manage me. Time to pack another bowl, time to spit another verse. I like hoodoo and do voodoo, parental advisory when I curse. I hope I don't freak you out with what I speak about. Lay my sermon on these vermin, my compounding preachers shout. Now how about another shot of fire water? Treat the stage like a horror house, I slaughter. Incognito, hot like Pico, there is no equal. Until I am cloned, there will be no sequel. Gargantuan, gamma-induced, radiation-proof. Supreme being with ample acidic spit dissolving boots. You know how it goes when my foot's through the door. I will explore because I do want more.
A crowd driller, nothing but the real shit. Call me the specialist, professor at the scrap science. Rep is impeccable, I'm not to be fucked with.
The man's got a God complex.
How many MCs must get dead?
If you can't walk the walk, don't talk the talk.
Flipped enough to knock you out with Mike Fitness. The man's got a God complex.
To the beat, I'm toe tapping, broke so I'm pole rapping. But niggas won't know what happened once I start soul snatching. Ready to attack, gather for the onslaught. Such an animal, call me manimal, got the jungle on lock. So keep your monkey ass away from me, haters stink. Alien to the third degree, soothsayer ink. Stealth maneuvers like a fine jewel procure. Underground funk right out the sewer, purer than manure. Now shake your ass, this bitch, make it quick. My third eye replays every word that I say. If you know what I do, you know I do it every day. Fuck recess, motherfucker. See, I don't play. 16 bars can leave 32 scars carved in your chest plate, moons and stars. I'm the best by far. You know who I are, Mr. Rumbum, slumping over at the bar.
A crowd driller, nothing but the real shit. Call me the specialist, professor at the scrap science. Rep is impeccable, I'm not to be fucked with.
The man's got a God complex.
How many MCs must get dead?
If you can't walk the walk, don't talk the talk.
Flipped enough to knock you out with Mike Fitness. The man's got a God complex.
All right, that was God Complex. So, Dr. Ink, you were talking about your writing and everything like that. I'm really interested in how you put all of these elements together to make these songs. So can you go into that and explain how that process works?
Process of Dr. Ink's writing. Well, I'll just go ahead and explain it so everyone can know from point A to point Z. First thing is I have to go through a list of beats. And I have many different instrumentals, so it sometimes can turn into something that takes a couple hours. But go through the beats. And when something catches my attention, and I know that I'm going to write something good to it, and the way that I can tell that I'm going to write something good to it is I freestyle real good to it. I'll freestyle real good to it in my head. I already have an idea. The format of how I'm going to rap over it is already there. It just comes to me. So then I know right then and there, that's the song. So let's do this. And so I'll put the song on repeat, and I'll roll myself a blunt, and I will smoke that blunt, and I write, and I just let it go, and I write, and honestly, I hardly ever think before I write, which is kind of weird. I don't know what I write after I'm done. I have to actually read it after I'm done to know what I wrote, and it's kind of like I get into a trance type thing going on. So I write, and then after I'm done writing it, I'll go through, the song and make sure I have everything the way I want it, and go to my studio. If I'm going to record it at my studio, I'll just get into the process of recording. And what I'll do a lot of the times while I'm recording is if what I wrote doesn't seem to fit, or sometimes I'll even change something like right in the middle of me reading it off of the paper, because I can't memorize my rhymes like everybody, like a lot of people do. A lot of people memorize the music and they're able to just do it. So how they want it done, they get it right then and there. But I have to read off the paper because, like I said, I don't know what I wrote right after I did it. But I have to read it. So And then finally, once I feel that I got it right, I do my ad-libs, I do the hook if it's necessary, and just do what I do. And usually process. If it's a good day, if I have found a beat quickly within a few minutes, the whole process will take about an hour to an hour and a half. But sometimes it can be, something that'll take 4 or 5 hours.
So what changes when you write the beat? Is it just the time-consuming effort that takes to write the beat, or is it completely different process?
As far as doing the beat myself?
Yeah, is it a different process that you go through, or do you just sit there and go, I kind of like this little rhythm I got in my head, so I want to put this down, and then you start building on that?
Well, the process when I make a beat it's totally different. That's something that actually takes a lot more time because I have a lot of beats that I haven't done music over, because when I make them, hearing them over and over and over again, it dilutes that feeling of wanting to write on it. So what'll happen is, after I make a beat, it actually sits there for maybe a couple of months, even longer. I have beats that I made 10 years ago that are still sitting with me that I haven't done anything on. And, when other people hear them, they're like, oh, it's tight, that's different, that's great. But to me, it just sounds like I have no feeling of it because I've heard it over and over and over, so I'm kind of numb to it. So, that process when I end up writing over my own beat that takes a lot more time.
Well, that's awesome, man. And you have an album out right now. Can you actually say the title? Because I get mixed up with it.
Calm Palm Calligraphy.
And what does that mean?
Well, I consider my style of writing, I guess if writing was a martial art, my style would be calm palm, because it's just the calmness and serenity that comes with writing. It's there. It helps. There's no aggression when writing to a nice beat. There's no anger. There's no sadness. There's nothing but the want to find a way to better this beat, to add to what this beat doesn't already have. The beat already has everything else, but now it just needs a voice. Now it just needs the right words.
Nice, man. Nice. That's really, really nice and deep. I like that. I really do. So you have music videos for a couple of the songs that we're playing here on the show. Can you go into the process of figuring out which song you're going to make a video for, and how making the video, the process of making a video?
As far as picking the song, it's a spontaneous thing. I'm a very indecisive person with a lot that I do. It's one of the key trademarks of being a Libra. So since I have a hard time, I just kind of pick one. And when one is picked, depending on who's going to do the video, the V was shot by Kings Rivera. He had also did one of Wix's videos, which is how I ended up going through him.
Oh, nice.
Into Wix. So, and that was for the V. And Wix is also in that video, and also another artist named Royal P. She's a great vocalist, great singer. She's also in there, and the video was originally supposed to be shot for an event that was going to happen at a park. There was going to be some rap battle. There was going to be a barbecue, and so I thought this would be a great thing to do a video. So I called up Kings, and I'm like, hey, let's do the video at this event. We'll get lots of people in it. We'll get the barbecue. It'll be a tight video. So we're like, okay. But that event ended up getting canceled that day for various reasons. So all four of us ended up shooting the video downtown because I was just like, well, let's just do it here. We don't really need to think too much about it. There's a good spot over there. Let's go do one spot over there. And then we walked around to try to find another spot. We did it, and next thing you know, the video was put together nicely. It was done. And God Complex, kind of the same thing. Woke up one morning, called Terry Skills and said, "Hey, let's do a video. Let's set it up for this day." So I went to his place on a Saturday, and we're in the alley that was behind his house, and this video worked out great because in the video there's a couple of tiki gods, big tiki things that this guy made.
Oh, nice.
He happened to be driving by in a truck, had the tikis in his truck because he makes them, and we were like, "Hey, can we use one of these for a music video we're going to do right now?" And he's like, "Sure." So he drug it off the truck, and we got the video footage, and I took it home, edited it, did what I did, and put it out.
That is awesome, man. That is so great.
A lot of spontaneous acts goes into the music that I do in the video. So.
Well, it's really cool that you're the one doing the editing and all of that, and you have your studio. I've said it before, I'll say it again a million times. The DIY approach for music is what is going to carry music into the future. And I love that approach. It's just amazing for all of us musicians. It gives us so many things to be able to do. And it's really cool to see that you're taking advantage, like full advantage of every single opportunity that you've got. It's really cool to see. Speaking of the opportunity, you mentioned during one of the breaks, there's something really big going on with your label. Can you explain that, or are you tight-lipped about that so far?
Well, I can give a little bit of info about it. Right now, Terry Skills and I, which Terry is he's the one that runs House of Skills. We are in discussions of combining the labels, forming a unity, so that way we can, I guess, try to conquer the music industry as best as we can from the positions that we are in. Because doing music isn't just about making the music; it's also about the business aspects of it. So we need to venture in that. We need to try to figure all that out, get all that done, because I'm not in this industry to get rich, but I do need to make money. I do, and I am trying to establish something because after I pass, if my kids can run the label, great. If this is something that if Triple Guard Recordings is still around 150 years from now, that's hey.
That's awesome, man. That's really ambitious. I really dig that. So, with this agreement and everything, how would that work? It's just you guys start working together, and you guys from now on your projects are between the both of you, or is there a certain thing that you're going to take advantage of? I mean, you're going to take on in the merger.
Well, we figure, why pay everyone else to do everything for us if we're able to do it ourselves? If we are able to produce our own beats, we're able to record our own music, we're able to print up our own CDs, distribute our own CDs and music online and physical copies. If we can do all that ourselves, that we're trying to eliminate all the middlemen, basically.
Wow.
And at the same time, hoping to become the middlemen, because what we're going to do, we're going to try to excel in it as much as possible. We're going to try to be the best at it. So if we can do that, and if people decide to come through us for certain projects, certain things, whether it be music production or video production, anything like that, then that'll benefit us in a great way. Because we not only want to help ourselves in this, we also want to try to help everyone else, because that was my main mission with even starting the label, was helping out other artists out there. That's why, you know, a lot of the artists that came through, you know, they didn't have to pay anything, because it was like, I want to do this for you guys. You guys need music made. Come through, get it done. Take your music however far you're going to take it, and you know. So.
Nice. That's really, really great that you're doing that, man. I applaud that you're doing that. That we need more people like that in the music industry. So, can you talk about the song Hazy Town?
Hazy Town, yes. That song right there, Terry Skills had when Terry Skills and I first met, he figured that there was some beats he had that I wasn't probably not be able to do music over, but he found out that I could. And so when he sent that beat to me, he said, I made this beat, it's kind of your style, it kind of fits you. I don't know if you're going to be able to do anything to it, but here you go. So I heard the beat, and immediately I already knew what I wanted the name to be and what I wanted the song to be about. So I told him, you know, this song is going to be called Hazy Town. I'll send it to you as soon as I'm done with it, because he was going to do the mixing and the editing and all that stuff. So did the beat, and it was about pills, basically about pharmaceutical companies and what they do and how the pills make you feel, how, you know, if you've taken any kind of pills for anxieties or depressions or any type of, I mean, even some pain medications, you know, the side effects of them are ridiculous. The feeling that you get when you're trying to feel better, but something just, it doesn't make you feel better. It just kind of leaves you feeling blank, or it just knocks you out. It makes you sleepy, so you're basically a zombie throughout the day. You know, people needed to hear that there are other people out there that go through the same thing. Even musicians go through the same thing. And so I just tried to explain it as best as I could.
Awesome, man. Right now, this is Hazy Town.
I swear these companies got a plan for me. Prescriptions for addictions, addicted to prescriptions. Dose 3 times daily, and I can hardly pay attention. Moving so slow, I think the world's in high speed. They say it keeps me balanced, and it's just what I need. Side effects?
No sleep, buddy, nose drips. Unless it lasts more than 2 weeks, don't trip.
My motor functions out of alignment. Went for a walk, but can't remember where the time went. Now it's about time to pop that bottle. I'm a little impaired when I drive, and I can hardly feel the throttle. My girl said I'm staring at her funny, that's ridiculous. Insomniac status got her looking inconspicuous. Pop a pill with the coffee chaser, mix the caffeine, zoned out at the home house, looking like a dope. But I can't recall the blackout. Try to remember the facts out. What do you know? I'm back out. I swear these companies got a plan for me. As quick as these doctors, Nevada bars. It's probably why I wrote these zany bars, giving me the highest milligrams, candy-coated scars. I swear these companies got a plan for me. As quick as these doctors, Nevada bars. It's probably why I wrote these zany bars, giving me the highest milligrams, candy-coated scars. Highly medicated, oval-shaped pink, peach, and blue. The paper says I'm drifting fast. What else could I do?
Just pop a molly, it'll make you jolly. And if you need a refill, have your pharmacy call, and we'll get you recalibrated. But if I have you salivating, more than jitters, new talk confusion might have you nighttime shaking. Don't miss the med time, especially before the bedtime hour. You might suffer a mind break, grab a rifle, climb a tower.
I swear these companies companies got a plan for me. As quick as these doctors have abandoned me. Vanny bars. That's probably why I wrote these zany bars, giving me the highest milligrams, candy-coated scars. I swear these companies got a plan for me. As quick as these doctors have abandoned me. Zany bars. That's probably why I wrote these zany bars, giving me the highest milligrams, candy-coated scars.
And we got those pills for you, just in case you skip those pills for you. No need to call the suicide line, they'll just ignore you. We'll supply you the high you crave, zombie makers, thirst aid, dilute you from the inside, take away your pain and rage. We got customers every race, age, creed, and color. Resistance is futile, we got your mom, dad, sister, brother. We don't discriminate, so don't hesitate, just take what they show your loyalty, put your body in the air, and give it a shake.
I swear these companies got a plan for me. As quick as these doctors have abandoned me. Vanny bars. That's probably why I wrote these zany bars, giving me the highest milligrams, candy-coated scars. I swear these companies got a plan for me. As quick as these doctors have abandoned me. Vanny bars. That's probably why I wrote these zany bars, giving me the highest milligrams, candy-coated scars.
Yeah. Just tell us what you need.
Well, you know,
What's wrong? You got depression.
kinda,
You got anxiety.
a little bit,
You got post-traumatic stress in you.
a lot of that,
Are you feeling like the world is closing in on you?
every day.
We got something for that.
Oh, yeah?
Trust us. Trust us.
Okay.
And that was Hazy Town. All right, Dr. Ink, you were telling me during the break you got something coming out within the next couple of days here in June. What's coming out, and can you go into that?
There is a new video that was just shot a couple days ago. It's called Wake Up Everybody, and it's a track that was done by Vinny Lokes and I. It was a beat that was done by Terry Skills. So it's a House of Skills, Triple God Recordings combination there, and also a No Town Kings combination, all three of us.
Nice.
So that's going to be coming out. It's a pretty cool video. The song is already up on YouTube. If you put in "Wake Up Everybody" and put Terry Skills, that's Skills with a Z at the end, and the video will come up. You'll see it featuring Dr. Ink and Vinny Lokes.
Awesome.
And, so other people can, you can get a taste of the song before you see the video. The video's cool. It was shot and edited by Terry Skills.
Nice.
So yeah. Yep.
Awesome, man. All right, so one of the things that I was amazed by on your profile is there are so many AKAs that you have. Can you explain why you have so many and go into how you got some of them and what they mean to you?
Well, I have so many AKAs because, I don't know, I just got a thing with names. I mean, I guess a nickname to fit every different aspect of me is, I don't know, I just think it's cool to me.
Awesome.
The AKAs that I have, and I'll go through the whole list, is Tweezy, a.k.a. Tweezy the Great, a.k.a. Twigonomical, a.k.a. Dr. Ink, a.k.a. Mr. Omega Mega Molecules, a.k.a. Mr. Gray, a.k.a. The Rum Bum, a.k.a. Lace Face, and Twizzle. That's the other one. So, yeah. Now, the Mr. Omega Mega Molecules, I think I need to explain that one because that one, that's different. That's just something I came up with when I was writing a song. In one of them, I actually say my mega molecules and Mr. Omega. I said that all within that song. So as I was listening to the song, I just thought, hey, that'd be a good name for a mixtape album, Mr. Omega Mega Molecules. So I actually ended up doing a mixtape called that. It's called The Ions of Mr. Omega Mega Molecules.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
it was up on DatPiff for a little while. And I actually took it down because a couple of the songs on there, after learning a little bit more about music, I A couple of songs weren't mastered good. I want to do it all over again. So, but that's going to be back up soon. And then Laceface, you know, I'm basically always medicated off of, you know, marijuana, Prop 215. So, hey. You know, the rum bum, of course, I explained before, I'm a rum drinker, so, you know, that's that. Yeah. And Mr. Gray is because of my gray goatee. I rock the gray goatee. You know, started going gray early in life in my 20s, so I figured, you know what? I'm not going to do none of that just for men stuff. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rock my grays, I'm going to rock my silvers, and that's just going to be my thing. So
that is awesome, man. All right, man. So we're wrapping up here. So before we get going, can you please tell me and everyone listening how to get a hold of you, how to hear your awesome music, and how to figure out like when your shows are coming up?
Well, I do have a free app that's available through Reverb Nation.
Awesome.
If you go on my my SoundCloud, which is, and I'm going to spell out Twigonomical for everyone because a lot of people spell it different, because it's soundcloud.com/Twigonomical, and Twigonomical is spelled TWIGGANOMICAL. Twigonomical. If you go to that, every single link that I have is up there. And on my Reverb Nation page, it's the same thing, reverbnation.com/Twigonomical. You can download my free app there, and it gives you all the information for the shows that I put up, all the music that you're able to listen to that I put up. Some stuff is downloadable. And yeah, and you can link up with me on Twitter, Twigonomical, at Twigonomical1.
Nice.
And yeah, Facebook, Twigonomical 559. Everything pretty much is under Twigonomical. Like I said, I'm on the transitional stage, so.
All right, man. Well, excuse me. Sorry about that. All right, man. So it's been great talking to you. I really, really, really appreciate you coming onto the show and talking about the greatness that is Dr. Inc. or Twigonomical. That is such an awesome name, man.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for getting a hold of me, and you've been awesome, man. You truly have, and I can't wait. I'm trying to figure out how I can get to Fresno to see you and Wix and Kaleidoscope, because I have yet to see you guys be awesome. So I'm really trying to get down there. So keep me in the loop. Let me know what's going on. If there's a show that I can make, I will be there, front row and center. All right?
Definitely.
All right, man. Thank you so much. You have a good day, man.
Thanks, you too. It was great talking to you. Thank you. Local Music Revolution. Love you guys.
Thank you, brother. So that was Dr. Inc. It's kind of funny because I don't know how interviews are going to go. I never do. It's not one of those things that are just randomly told to you when you're doing this kind of thing. But more often than not, it's really easy to talk to these people. They're just so overjoyed to be able to talk about their art and their music and what they love to do. Dr. Inc. was one of those people that was just really easy to talk to, was very informative, and very, very, very receptive to talking about all of these things that I had questions about. As I said before, I'm not knowledgeable in rap. I grew up being a metalhead. I am still a metalhead, but the thing is, you don't learn unless you talk to people that are in it. So being able to talk to Dr. Inc. and MC Wix and Kaleidoscope, it gave me a great insight into the local rap scene here around the Central Valley of California, and they've all been very, very helpful and very amazing in explaining things to me that I didn't know, and being very patient with me, and the learning process that comes along with this. Back on episode 17, I talked to a gentleman by the name of Julian that was from Sanger and in a metal band called When All Is Conquered. He led me to Kaleidoscope, which led me to MC Wix and Dr. Ink. And we lead to hear this episode. The thing is, me and Julian were talking, and it's amazing to see how accepting these rap artists were of us in this situation. It really shows over and over and over again that when music is involved, it's a universal language. It doesn't matter which end of the spectrum you are on. It just matters that you love music and you are music. I'm always interested in hearing what you guys have to say about the show, the format, or if you have any guests that you want to hear on the show. You can always contact me on Facebook, facebook.com/thelocalmusicrevolution, on Twitter @TLMR podcast, even on Instagram @thelocalmusicrevolution. You can also comment, rate, subscribe, and add The Local Music Revolution on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube, and any other podcast catchers that are out there. We're pretty much on everything that I can do. For iTunes, just go to the podcast section of your iTunes store, look up The Local Music Revolution. All of the episodes will be there. You can check them out, hit subscribe, you can rate and comment. I really appreciate that. It makes everything better for everybody involved with the podcast. For Stitcher, all you have to do is download the app on your Android phone, sign up, look for The Local Music Revolution, and you can subscribe to that. Keep up to date with every single one of the episodes coming out. Recently, I've finished putting all of the episodes onto YouTube, so you can search The Local Music Revolution or follow the link in the contact information that I provided on the WordPress. Go, check them out. Stream those episodes. If you like them, give them a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel because I'm working on other ideas to incorporate in the channel. So, please keep up to date with that. Again, I just want to let you guys know, Stringjoy is a sponsor of the podcast. It's a great company out of Nashville, Tennessee. They're working on giving you great strings straight from the factory, not from a warehouse that they've been sitting in. So, if you're interested in custom strings, go to stringjoy.com. Look at all of their strings. They have pre-made tension-based sets. They have the ability to get custom string gauges. When you're at checkout, use the promo code LOCAL. That's LOCAL, and you will get a discount for being a listener of the Local Music Revolution. Lastly, if you know of bands, artists, or even a musical company that helps bands and artists, let me know. You can contact them. You can point them to the WordPress where the interview sign-up sheet is located. I just need basic information, and we could start the process of getting an interview scheduled and having them featured on the Local Music Revolution. Next Thursday is another great episode. It's actually with the composer of the intro music for the episodes that we've had since July 2nd. His name is Ben. He works with the band called Silo Cell, and they are awesome. We get into a bunch of things, including industrial metal and many, many other things. So Silo Cell will be next week's episode. Until then, this is the Local Music Revolution. I am Ogre. You have been awesome. Thank you so much. Take care and be good, everyone.